For 200,000 years, humans have kept their babies close. We've slept close to our babies. We have understood our babies' communication. We have helped our babies with their distress, and we've deeply connected with our babies. This way of life, the way all mammals care for their young, is in the best interests of both babies and their mothers and fathers. This beautiful nurturing caregiving was disrupted about 200 years ago in North America by a series of medical doctors. These doctors have caused unprecedented harm to humanity by calling this beautiful caregiving spoiling. They warned parents, don't spoil your baby. This monumental statement has fractured and harmed countless babies and parents. It continues to be in the ear of parents every single day. When they want to cuddle their baby, they hear, don't spoil your baby. When they want to sleep close to their baby, they hear, don't spoil your baby. When they want to protect their baby, feeling fear, they hear, don't spoil your baby. Well, I'm here to be the second voice in your ear, emphatically saying, spoil your baby, mama. Spoil your baby, dada. Hold them, as much as they need, even if that's all the time in those early days. Cuddle them, kiss them, put them in cozy, comfy pajamas, wrap them up, and snuggle them in their sleep. Snuggle them when they're awake. Make them feel safe and loved unconditionally. Feed your baby whenever they are hungry. Help them when they're in distress. Give them compassion, understanding, acceptance, and love. Delight in your baby. Speak so kindly to them. Don't hold anything back. Love them for who they are exactly right now. Spoiling your baby means returning to normal or mammalian behavior of taking care of our young. And not just so they live. The current parenting is giving enough care for babies so that they survive. I mean giving our young extravagant care so they thrive in every single measure of health for their life. It means returning to being guided by your emotion, your intuition, your heart, your gut, and not just what's been programmed into your mind by society. And these 200 years of low care and low nurture for babies, we have to get away from it. It means leaning in hard to your relationship with your baby and existing and being present and so loving in that relationship. Spoiling your baby means never fighting against your baby's biology or your biology, which is what mainstream parenting sets us up to do currently. It means you never need to leave the relationship with your baby. You do not need to disconnect from your baby. You can stay connected and stay in the relationship to benefit both your baby's mental health and your mental health. In this world, parents are torn up by this phrase, don't spoil your baby. It causes so much turmoil, so much distress, so much anxiety and depression for parents. I see this every single day in my work. Parents' brains are changed especially to spoil their babies. Parents' brains are changed to hear cries, which is why many of us hear phantom cries in the shower. A squeaky pipe gets interpreted by our brain as our baby crying. We have much higher empathy. And we have a huge reward response from being with our babies. We're also on high alert for threats to our baby. So let me tell you a little bit about how I got here on this journey, on this, almost decade of sharing information and supporting parents and babies to connect in these early years from 0 to 3. So I was born as a very sensitive baby who needed tons of attention, affection, and protection. My mother's care for me led me on a path to both understand the needs of babies and to learn everything I could about early life experience. This passion of mine started in high school, where I did a project on how the eyes need vision input in order for the brain to develop specific pathways to sustain lifelong vision. This was the first example of neuroplasticity and the critical experiences we have in early life. I continued this pursuit in my undergraduate years, where I studied how every system in our bodies are wired from 0 to 3 years. Our vision, our hearing, our intelligence, and most notably, our emotional systems, our neurotransmitter systems, our gut health, and how all of these parts that form our mental health are grown from experience from 0 to 3 years. After my undergraduate degree in neuroscience, I continued to do a PhD in neuroscience and medical science, where I continued to study this phenomenon, and more so how both genetics and experience work together to form our lifelong mental health. And that is the experience I mentioned between 0 and 3 years in humans. And after that, I continued to do a postdoctorate fellowship at Columbia University and take additional training at Yale and NYU in the mind and how the mind develops in these critical years. Then, when my friends started to have babies near the end of my postdoctoral fellowship, I was shocked to see how many people were raising their babies towards mental health vulnerabilities. I saw rejection of babies. I saw name calling of babies. I saw the conditions parents had on how they responded to their baby's stress. I saw sleep training. I saw babies screaming day after day. And all of these parents were under the spell of don't spoil your baby. All of these parents were so well-meaning, so in love with their babies and wanting to do their absolute best for their babies. But the don't spoil your baby spell was working on them and was leading to what I could see were incredibly risky behaviors and treatment of babies. I could see right away my calling in life. I had to tell parents to spoil their babies. Not only did I know in my bones that babies need this loving care from my own experience as a baby who needed so much care, but I also knew the science. I could envision these babies' brains developing in front of my eyes as I saw them having either highly loving, nurturing care or extremely low, disconnected care. So, if you're going to start spoiling your baby today, here are 3 top tips. The first is speaking to your baby with utmost kindness. I like to ask my son to look into my eyes, and then I like to say things like, I am so lucky to be your mama. You make my heart feel so good. You are amazing to me. I love you exactly the way you are. You light up the room. You are so kind and loving. I see how caring you are. I love you when you are sad or mad or happy, and everyone wants to be around you. You are loved for being you. The second tip to start spoiling your baby today is give your baby tons of loving touch. Hold their hand, touch their head, kiss their hair, cuddle them, hug them. Morning time and bedtime are great times for loving touch. Every morning, my husband and I do morning hugs with my son. We cuddle up in bed and I sing him a morning song to start our day. At bedtime, we cuddle again and my husband or I hug him and hold his hand as he falls asleep. third tip for today is understand that you are your baby's only source of safety and regulation in this world. When they have big emotions and stress, they need you. With no hesitations, go ahead and scoop them up, give them tons of love, tell them you're there for them, stay with them until they are calm and ready to play and explore again. We don't have to know why our baby is stressed. We just need to know that our loving presence is their only way to calm. And I promise you, with these 3 tips that I just went over today, you will already be on your way to spoiling your baby and growing your baby's rapidly developing brain towards lifelong health, physical health, mental health, relationship health, all the things we wish for our babies. Every single one is accomplished through this. I am so excited that you're here today for my first episode. In this world where everyone will say, don't spoil your baby, I am very happy to be a voice saying, spoil your baby extravagantly. Because when we do so, we grow our baby's brains to lifelong health. And when we all do it, we are creating a planet that will be healthier, happier, more compassionate, more connected, more loving, and the world that we want to create for our children.